Michael, do you mind if I dedicate this episode?
Of course. No, go ahead.
So, I want to give a shout out to a very special friend, someone who's been inspiring me since way before 11 this morning.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I get out of bed in the morning, or I will starting tomorrow, our good friend Dale.
Dale.
We do it for him. We
Do it for Dale. Do it for Dale.
Do it for Dale. Okay, so that's an inside joke, obviously. But...
Okay, well we'll explain to everyone
Yes.
what's a podcast.
I actually I looked up that phrase, "Do it for Dale."
Do it for Dale.
We were on a little road trip today, and we saw that on a truck.
And we thought it was hysterical because who's Dale?
Who the hell is Dale?
Why is this truck dedicated to Dale?
Yeah, so I looked it up, and it actually makes a lot more sense than I thought it would.
Okay, well, what?
So,
who's Dale?
Urban Dictionary says, "Do it for Dale." Doing anything automobile related, such as burnouts, drifting, crashing, and stuff of that nature.
Why is it called doing it for Dale?
I would imagine that Dale is some sort of person who was famous for something along the lines of a destruction derby or something on that note.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't know. I'd look more into it, but I don't wanna.
Oh, that's perfectly fair.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's interesting. Well, welcome to the Weekly Undertaking.
So,
I am your host,
wait,
Mike.
no.
Oh, what? No, we're not. Okay, I'm sorry.
Welcome back to the Weekly Undertaking.
I apologize.
Yeah, you've been here before, unless you haven't. In which case, I interrupted you for no reason.
In which case, thank you for joining us this week. I'm your host, Mike.
And I'm your other host, Alex. Wow, our intros are getting much shorter. We're down to 2 minutes almost.
This is great. This is a great start. I should start by saying I apologize if I sound a little hoarse. I am a little under the weather, but not enough to not do this podcast.
No, I am exhausted.
Yeah.
It's
been a long day.
We are recording this over a day after when we usually would.
That's true.
Because both of us have just been so occupied this
Very
weekend.
occupied.
And honestly, this whole week was very hectic.
It's been a lot. It's been quite a bit.
I think for the first time for both of us, this was the week that we really started having to do other shit again.
That's actually accurate. Yes, I agree. Just because when we started this podcast, we didn't really have a lot going on, and we did this because we're like, okay, we want to start bettering ourselves, taking on new challenges. But this is the first week. I agree with you in that this is the first week that real life has started getting in the way of those kinds of challenges.
Exactly. Were you able to keep up with your weekly undertaking duties?
For the most part, the challenge this past week was to get into sports. Sports. We are two very unathletic people.
Speak for yourself. I like to think of myself as someone who would be athletic.
If you were better at sports.
I used to be athletic.
We used to be athletic in high school, which was 4 or 5 years ago now?
It's 4.5, dude.
4.5 years ago. I round up. But yeah, it's been a while since we got into sports. But that was the challenge this week. We were to watch 3 sports and do sport 3 sports. I don't know. I did it. I don't know if you did it. Did you complete successfully?
I did way more actual playing of sports than watching sports.
Okay.
I don't like watching sports. And
really? Okay. Tell me why.
I don't know. I get bored.
Okay, that's very fair. That's very fair.
We had a wonderful time watching the World Cup final last week.
That was a really good game.
That was a lot of fun.
That was actually perfectly timed. We about the fact that we had to watch the sport in the World Cup was the next day. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And we are American, so by our nature, we don't really care about soccer. We don't even call the proper name for soccer
is
football, but we give so little cares about this damn sport that we call it by the wrong name just to spite our European oppressors.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Yeah, it is.
But I still enjoyed the game. I've never really watched soccer before, but I found myself floored. I think this was a particularly exciting game.
It really was.
If you're listening to this far into the future, we're discussing the 2018 World Cup.
Yes, and it was a really high scoring game. It was 4-2 was the final score, right?
4-2. France won. Croatia,
upsettingly.
Yeah, Croatia lost.
I was pulling for Croatia.
But I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a really fun game.
Yeah, we had popcorn
and other things.
Yeah,
yes.
Your dad showed me some Twitter feed.
God,
stuff.
that was weird.
That
Yes,
was
he did.
fun.
Well, listen, he's finally understanding us millennials. He's finally getting into the Twitters.
I mean, we don't have Twitters. So
yeah, I used to have Twitter, and then I got bored, so I deleted
really?
it. Yeah.
You didn't follow me?
No, I didn't follow you.
That's probably because I wasn't on Twitter.
That's true. I didn't look for you, but yes, that would be a good reason as to why not. But yeah, no, it was a really good game, and yeah, but so. Okay, so so the reason that you don't like is it that you don't find it engaging enough watching a sport?
Well, I play sports, and that's so much more fun. Like if I'm really into a sport, I'll watch it. Like I love watching golf and bowling. I know those sound like the two most boring sports to watch.
I was about to say those are the two sports that if you put a gun to my head, I could not watch a full game
Oh,
of.
dude, you have not watched professional bowling. That shit's crazy.
I saw one video of the of a professional bowler. He got a strike, and then he just freaked out. I was like, who do you think? I don't know who you. What was it like? Who do you think you are? I am.
That's Pete Weber. He's kind of like the villain of bowling.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Is he like the Yankees? Is that it, like he wins all the time? Is that what it is?
We live in New York. You can't say that.
Well, the Yankees suck.
Well, yeah, but you can't say it.
They win all the. Why can't I?
Why
can't I? I am a diehard Mets fan, and I will say that the Yankees suck until the cows come home.
You know,
even though they're a damn good baseball team.
I would continue this, but I really don't care.
You don't care about baseball?
I don't care about the Yankees.
Okay, fair enough.
Mets are fine. I grew up in a Met-loving household, so
yes,
I have to at least care a little bit about them.
Okay. Well, okay. Well, first of all, it's a Subway series. I watched that as one of my three watching sports during the week. Even though that wouldn't have gotten in the way, I would have watched that anyway. But
how did that go?
Well,
because I didn't watch it.
I watched the game. I watched was rather upsetting because we won. The Mets won game 1, and then the following day, yesterday, Saturday, they played pretty decently. Up until the starter got replaced and the Yankees started beating up on the Mets. And the Mets almost made a comeback in the 9th inning. It was 7-3. They pulled it out and got it back to 7-6, but they weren't able to capitalize, and that was kind of a heartbreaking moment. So
wow.
the Yankees won that one.
Have you ever thought of sport commentation?
I really do enjoy sport commentation. I do. I would love to do that in another life, like study the sport thoroughly enough to be able to talk about it for hours on end. I would actually really like that.
I guess this specific episode of this obscure podcast is the next best thing.
Yes, very true, very true.
Excellent.
All right. So what's one thing that you learned during this, or did this experiment go as you expected? Anything weird? What was your experience?
In a way, yes.
Okay.
I was expecting to be able to what was I? I was excited because I was hoping I'd be able to get back out there and sort of reintroduce myself into the world of sports that I was a big part of in certain aspects, not in the particular sense. I was in high school. I was on the bowling and tennis teams, and I was pretty good at both of them, and especially tennis. I have not played since I graduated high school.
And the sports that we played together, we really catered to those.
Yeah.
We played bowling and tennis, which I am terrible at. I'm not good at sports at all, but Alex properly stomped me during both of those days.
Bowling was so much fun. We only played 2 games because I was feeling terrible. I also got sick this week. Yes. I might have gotten you sick.
You might have gotten me sick, and I hate you for that.
But
fine. That's okay. I mean, but yeah, no. Listen, I love bowling as much as the next guy. It's just, I don't know, man. I wasn't able to. I love bowling, and it was so much fun watching you. You know, what was it? What was the thing that you almost got?
I bowled a 218. It was almost a no tap 300. Which, for any of you who aren't professional bowlers, which is probably like all of you,
the majority of our listeners,
except for you, Dad. Hi, Dad.
Your dad was a professional bowler?
Not a pro, but he's pretty good.
Okay.
I've been able to give him a run for his money in recent years, but my whole family is like are bowlers and yeah. Anyway, a no tap 300 is something that they do in tournaments sometimes, where a strike counts for a strike, and then a 9 spare also counts for a strike. So
getting nine pins down on the first throw and then picking up the spare on the second throw.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you do only that exclusively for a whole game, it counts as a 300 in specific tournaments.
Okay.
Yes.
So you almost got it.
Yeah, I got all 9 spares and strikes all the way until the 10th frame. I got a 9.
Third, whatchamacallit, during the 10th frame. Yep.
I got a strike and then a 9 on the second throw of the 10th frame. In the 10th frame, you get three throws.
Three throws. There we go.
And I missed by an inch this last pin. It wasn't even a 10 pin. It was right in the middle.
It was very, very close. It was dramatic, and it was tough. And I felt your loss watching it, because the entire game he was telling me, "Oh man, I might get a no tap," and it was.
And you were like,
that last
"What
throw.
are you talking about?"
Yeah, I was. Meanwhile, I'm still trying to figure out how to hit any of the 10 pins with the ball. You know, just throwing it into the gutter repeatedly. But
dude, I will teach you to bowl if you genuinely want.
The
offer will stand forever.
I do appreciate that. And that is so. Let me ask you something as to the technical side of bowling, which I noticed a lot of professional bowlers do, is when you throw the ball, it's not a straight line into the 10 pins. It kind of like curves a bit.
Yes.
Why do you do that? Why not just go straight and just bowl over as many as possible?
Okay, well, there are two reasons.
Okay.
The first reason, and the reason you could probably gather, is it looks badass.
Okay, so what's the non-aesthetic reason? I do agree, it does look pretty damn awesome.
The main reason is, I believe, if there's anyone out there who's better at bowling than I am, which is anyone who has trained in the art, would be angles. To get in on the pocket of the 10 pin, which is, the pocket is right in between the first pin and the third pin if you're a right-handed bowler, and the first and the second pin if you're a left-handed bowler. You can hit that straight, but it's still coming in at like such a high angle, like almost 90 degrees.
Right.
And just the way that the pins are formed, it's going to give you less of a chance of a strike than if you come in from an angle, say, of like 45 degrees with a curve. You have a higher chance for a strike. If you hit that in the pocket, the only thing that you might do is leave the 10 pin up if you're a right-hander.
It's very interesting.
7 pin if you're left-handed. So it's highly encouraged, if you want to learn bowling, is you got to learn how to rotate the ball.
How to spin it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. That's not something I knew. And I will say though that while I played a lot of new sports. I played bowling. I played
no new sports.
You played no new sports?
I did my big 3. I golfed without you.
Right, that's right. Yeah.
And then I went bowling later that day. It was I did 2 in one day.
Yeah, that's fine.
It was dreadfully hot. I was going to take you to the range after I went to the course, and it was pushing 100 again.
Yeah.
I texted you. I was like, dude, we can't.
Yeah, no, that was a brutal day.
And then I kept pushing back bowling because I felt... That's when I got sick.
So it might have been... Do you think it was the heat that did it?
No, I was feeling bad before that, but it wasn't... I didn't get sick from golf. I got sick despite it.
Okay, gotcha. But yeah, so I tried some new sports. You know, I bowl with friends. But I think I was very into bowling when I was a little kid. I think I had my 8th birthday party at a bowling alley.
Oh,
so
nice.
That's how passionate I am about the sport.
I had my 21st birthday party at a bowling alley.
Did you really?
Yeah, you couldn't come.
Oh, that's right. Your
entire family was there, except for you.
Except for me, because I'm a terrible friend.
No, you were busy. I get it.
Yeah.
I bowled a great round. I think I did like a 234 that day.
That's pretty sick. Was that a no tap?
No, not even close. I think I just got lucky with strikes in the beginning. But it was great. That was a fun birthday party.
Yeah, I'll say. So when I wanted to play the new sports, my intention was, when I was doing it, was okay. I'm gonna learn. I thought that it would be a little shaky, but I thought I would learn something new about like the strategy of the game that's involved in it. No, I was not at all. I was most concentrated on, like I said, hitting any of the 10 pins with the bowling ball.
That counts as strategy.
Or smacking any part of the tennis ball with the racket, and I didn't really think about aiming or anything like that. It was more about trying to formulate the skill set, which I was not able to do in one day. I mean, you can't do that. I don't know why I expected that, but you know, yeah, the tennis in particular. I mean, how did it feel to get back out there as a former captain of a?
I wasn't the captain of the tennis team.
You weren't.
I was the captain of the bowling team.
Right. Okay.
2 years running.
Nice.
I led us into last place for 2 years.
Hey, leading, still leading.
Yes.
Yeah.
The tennis team, I was like, look at me bragging. I was fourth in command.
That's pretty good. I don't. What's the what's the hierarchy? Is it the captain and then
it's the
three more people and then you?
It was the captain, who's like the first, like who plays first singles,
right.
And then there are 2 other people who play single games, and then there's 4 sets of doubles after that, so that's 8 people.
Okay.
So 8 plus 3, there are 11 people on the tennis team.
Right. Okay.
And I was in the first doubles with my partner.
Okay, cool. So how did it feel to get back out there after 4.5 years of not so much tennis?
It felt great.
Even though the opponent wasn't exactly the caliber you were used to.
You hit it sometimes.
Sometimes.
That was impressive.
I got near the court on occasion. Yes.
Yeah, I got exhausted running back and forth from the opposite ends of the court
yeah.
to retrieve balls.
Uh-huh.
But hitting it like near the end especially, like I really felt my form coming back, and it's relieving almost to know that even though it's been such a long time, like tennis and sports in particular, I would guess it's almost like riding a bike in that sense, in which you can put it down for a little while and then you can come back and it'll take like a couple hours, a couple days even, but you can get back into the groove. Like like I know, I feel like if I can go out there again with maybe a different opponent.
Very valid, very valid. Yes,
I could probably really get back into my groove. I'm definitely gonna join a tennis league somewhere around here if I can afford it.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, that's great. I'm glad for that.
Thank you, my friend.
And yeah, I will say though, the next time we play sports, we'll go to my side of the field.
We'll do some baseball
and some swimming. Those are the two. Those were. I was not good enough to make my high school baseball team. I will say that, but I was the captain of my high school swimming team. Nice. So that was only for 1 year.
Oh, you went swimming this week, right?
I did go swimming this week.
How was that?
Well, I mean, I've always gone. I've kept up with the swimming in recent years for like workout purposes. So to do that is like, you know, it's nice because I know that I'm not anywhere near the prime that I was during my senior year of high school, which, mind you, I still was not a very good swimmer. But I was in much better shape than I am now. But still, like you said, the form is still there. The muscle memory is still there. It's just I don't have the fitness to get back to where to what my times were at that moment.
Yeah. I remember talking to you at some point during the week, and you were like, "Yeah, I went swimming earlier today." I'm like, "Oh, your sport," and he's like, and you were like, "Oh yeah,
yeah, exactly, yeah,
that counts.
That does count because it's, you know, like I said, in recent times, it's just become the cardio workout that I try to keep up with. But you know, it was awesome. So the next time we do this, I'll race you in swimming, and I'll stump you there, and we'll be even.
Yeah, definitely. You definitely won this week of the whole trying new things aspect, which is like half of our sign off.
Right.
It's literally just I very much stayed in my comfort zone. The only like I went fishing too. Like,
right. How was that?
That was fine. That was actually a lot of fun.
Have you ever competitively fished?
No, I don't even know if that exists.
I'm sure it does. I mean, it's a sport. I mean, I know that there are, like, you know, the size comparisons. Yeah. I don't know if that's like friendly tournaments or if there's professional fishing competitions.
Well, with each charter boat that goes out, Michael's coughing.
Sorry.
Well, with each charter boat that goes out, or at least mine, we have a boat pool where everyone throws in a couple bucks, and the heaviest fluke caught during the day wins the whole pot.
Okay.
So I've never won because I don't really catch big fish. I
saw that your dad posted on Facebook. You caught a pretty big fish that day.
That wasn't even a keeper.
Really?
No.
Alright. How big does it have to be a keeper?
It has to be 19 inches in the state of New York.
Okay.
And it was funny. I went with my grandfather and my young cousin. They both caught like hefty, big keeper fish within like the first couple like hours, and they went to do a pose together, like for the camera, because the boat likes to post pictures. And my grandma was like, come and get in the picture. I'm like, I don't want to be this stud in the middle who doesn't have a fish.
Just like has a guppy compared to their like whales. Yeah, that's funny.
I was gonna get like one of the spearing, like one of the bait fish, and hold it up next to them.
Yeah.
Like,
just to emphasize the difference. Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
And then the next like couple minutes, I caught that fluke, which was big enough. And
nice.
He was like, good enough. Smile. So
that's fun.
It was fun. The last time I went fishing, which I think was like the first week we did weekly Undertaking.
Right.
It was terrible. I caught nothing. No one caught anything. But
okay, so do you have any like, what do you do when you're not catching anything? Do you do anything differently, like when you're casting your line or anything like that?
Well, you don't cast. You just drop. Well, with fluke fishing, which is what we did, you just drop straight down. You let the drift carry. You let line out if you're drifting away, or the boat's drifting opposite to which direction you're facing.
Okay.
So that the line can go further out. If you're on the other side, you keep it tight, so that you don't tangle with the people under the boat, because your line's gonna go under the boat.
Right.
But when you're not fishing, it's a big waiting game. You know, you feel, if you feel a bite, you gotta wait to kind of feel that like grab, and you pull. You gotta hook them, and then after that, you're almost set.
Right.
But it can be really frustrating to not.
I can imagine.
Anything. Sometimes you just don't get a bite. It's a lot of fishing is just luck.
Just luck.
Yeah, and it's fun enough. Actually, I had some of that fluke. My cousin gave me hers that she caught.
Was it tasty?
It was pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
My dad can grill a mean fish.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I liked it. And let's see.
Another game of chance that I didn't get a chance to watch, but I want to is poker, because they have like world championship poker games.
Yeah.
And like in my mind, I don't know. I know that there's a lot of like, you got to be able to lie and bluff your way through all the different competitions. But I would be really interested in knowing more about like the strategy. Like I said, I'm very interested in the strategy behind these games. But
well, let's have a poker night.
I'm down for that.
Yeah,
I'm down for that. I'll take all your money. It'll be great.
We can use Monopoly money for the first time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then we'll start putting down real money. I do with my friends on occasion, and we don't really use money. We do it more for bragging rights than anything else. But,
or chips, like not chips, like Pringles chips,
like potato chips.
That made sense because I pointed to Pringles that are sitting on my desk.
It did. Just keep the different flavors. It's the different values. Yeah, that would be funny. It's yeah. So I would definitely be down to do the poker night one day.
So see the weekly Undertaking got us to try poker. That's a weird thing. We put that on our bucket list.
Well, one thing that I did decide this week, I go cycling on occasion too when I can't get out to the pool, but I made an effort to do it this week for this competition, and I've decided that when I was biking, I decided this week that I was going to train for the 5-borough bike tour that happens in May.
Really?
Yeah, which is a 40-mile bike tour through the 5 boroughs of New York City. So I'm definitely going to do that.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, I don't. It just so happened this week. So I think that this is definitely one thing that I'm gonna keep up with.
So next May.
Next May.
Wow,
next May,
got a whole year to train.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, everyone who's listening, you gotta come and support Mike in May.
In May on the I don't know if there are cheering sections like there are at the New York City Marathon.
Oh well, then I'm not coming.
Fair enough. You want to train with me? Get a bike?
Well, I do. I have a bike.
You do have a bike? Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I'll ride with you. I don't think I'm doing the marathon.
Don't bullshit me. All right.
So what else did you do this week? What else did you watch?
What else did I watch? I watched. I cheated a little bit. I watched 2 baseball games. I watched the All-Star game, which was really fun.
Oh yeah, I watched that for 5 seconds.
That's right. Which is really fun because, like I said, I'm a huge Mets fan. I'm a huge baseball fan, and it was fun to watch all these. All-Star games are always kind of fun, even though the Mets weren't exactly well represented in this game.
Who was their player?
There was only one Mets player, Jacob deGrom, who was the best pitcher in baseball, or at least in the National League, in my opinion. And he, in the past, has done incredibly well in the All-Star game. I forget if it was last year or the year before, but he pitched a 10 pitch inning in the All-Star game, facing against the best hitters in baseball, which is incredible because he's,
So he threw 10 pitches and
the inning was over.
Wow.
Which is unheard of in the it's
well, not
incredible.
anymore.
Not anymore, exactly.
It is
exactly.
heard of.
But this year he pitched pretty well. But he gave up a home run to Mike Trout in the second inning when he pitched.
Fish?
A fucking fish. Exactly. It was
Should have gone trout fishing.
He should have gone trout. That's exactly right. You know what? Do you have any experience trout fishing? Could you teach Jacob
I'll
to
go?
Yeah, no.
I'll go.
No, Mike Trout is the best player in baseball. So if you're gonna give a home run up to anybody, that's a respectable opponent to lose it to.
Great.
Yeah, but it was a fun game to watch. American League won it 8-6. It was a good time. It was really good.
Beautiful.
What was? I know you're not as big a baseball fan. What was your experience watching the half inning that you watched?
It was fine. I watched the part where the center fielder was interviewed, like while he was on center field.
I really like that part of the game too, because
I liked it too.
That's not something you get in a typical baseball game, but they make an effort to do that.
That was pretty neat. Mm-hmm. And then after that ended, I was like, okay.
Do you remember who the center fielder was? Because they rotated it out.
I think, did he play for the Angels? Maybe? I don't remember.
That might have been Mike Trout. I forget if he was playing center during that thing, but that might have been Mike Trout.
I genuinely do not recall. So
okay, that's fair. That's fine.
Don't yell at me.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to.
I'm talking to them.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
I know you're not going to yell at me.
Yeah, and we don't want any angry complaints about inaccuracies about the 2018 All-Star game.
Yeah, to reiterate, we don't know shit.
We don't,
especially me.
We don't know shit about anything. We should put that out right now. We're not experts.
The Do It For Dale thing even, like, we don't know.
Listen,
I looked that up.
It's on Urban Dictionary. We have no idea if that's relevant information. Oh man. There's definitely one guy named Dale who was the reason for that.
He heard the beginning of this podcast and he went,
That's me. Yeah.
They're doing it for me.
They're doing this. We're doing it for him. And now we don't even know. Listen, Dale, if you're if there's a Dale out there and he's the reason for the Do It For Dale,
do an Undertaking with us.
Do an Undertaking. Let us know, man. That'd be awesome. We gotta do it for him from now on.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Anyway. So yeah.
All in all, what was sorry, I interrupted you.
Nah, it's cool. You just interrupted me as well.
I just interrupted you.
I only watched like a very few sports this week, but I was very busy as you were as well. Mm-hmm. But the one other thing I watched was Ultimate Frisbee.
Oh, okay. What was that like?
Highlights and stuff, because I don't know where to watch a live Ultimate Frisbee game.
Yeah, I mean I feel like that's a college sport more than it is professional. But
the people do it.
Really?
People do it. I learned the rules. It was interesting. It's kind of like pansy football.
Okay.
Where it's get the flying disc to one side. Mm-hmm. You can't move while you hold it. There's no contact. You throw it. It was interesting. There's a lot of really cool dives.
So it's like, and if I'm correct me if I'm wrong with this, but it's like when you catch the frisbee, you can't move, right?
Yeah, you get to move 1 foot.
1 foot.
Yes, and sorry about that pansy comment. I know a lot of pansies, and they're all very nice.
Pansies are my favorite flowers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It
actually looks like a very extreme sport. Hence the name. Ultimate
Frisbee.
Yes.
It's epic right in the name. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I do agree. But so did you? So was it just awesome? Was it badass? Was there anything?
It was pretty cool.
Okay, awesome.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a sport I've played before, but it's not something I've ever thought about watching, and I would really like to watch the experts do it, because I'm sure that I'd learn something.
Yeah, that's really cool. I was into it. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. Now let me ask you something.
Sure.
I did a few other physical activities this week.
Okay.
I want to know if you would qualify a few things as sports.
Ooh, okay.
To give me more points, even though I already declared that you won this challenge.
Okay.
So, building furniture from IKEA, does that count as a sport?
I want to say no. I want to see.
But we're recording at the desk that I built.
Yes, and it's
from IKEA.
This is a very fine desk.
Thank you.
You did a very good job.
Thanks.
IKEA makes great Swedish furniture.
I still don't know how to screw this thing in the back, but
I could have.
Oh, that's what she said.
I wasn't. She's correct. I don't know. I mean, it's an excellent test. Do you remember
the cabinet in the back? That thing.
Wow, that's
whatever that is.
You made a lot of really cool furniture.
Thank you.
But I would call furniture building an art more than a sport.
Yeah, it's like painting by numbers, but with furniture.
Exactly.
Okay.
And to be fair, IKEA makes great paint by color books, paint by number books.
Yeah. Okay. Second activity.
Okay.
Moving bricks. Literally. Picking up bricks
a brick
and moving them elsewhere
and putting them down.
Yes. Yesterday, when we usually record, I lifted about 300 bricks with my father and moved them to our backyard over the course of 3 hours.
Was the purpose construction?
The purpose was to get them in the backyard for later construction.
Gotcha.
So brick moving.
Okay.
Sport or not a sport?
I'm gonna say
there was a time limit because I had to go to Brooklyn at 2:00.
Okay, so it was a time trial run.
I finished it just in time too.
Well, I suppose that there is a physical challenge involved, and there is a competitive nature to it. So I'm gonna say, technically yes. That's on the line for me. That's on the line.
I can't believe that worked.
Well, here's the thing. It's like. Weightlifting is a sport.
That's true.
It's not like a typical thing you do for competition, but like it's in the Olympics.
Yeah.
So if that's
brick moving,
if that's a sport, I have no reason to qualifications to think that moving a brick under time constraints, time trials, brick moving cannot be a sport.
All right, that made me feel better because I didn't do anything Saturday sport wise.
Okay,
excluding that.
Fair enough.
But after that, I was like, yeah, I can't move anything.
Do you have any other maybe sports?
What else did I do this week? No, that was it.
Okay. All right. Yeah, a lot of things are weird sport thing because a lot of there's in recent times there is a blurring of the line between art and sport because we see dance competitions everywhere.
Yes, and that is both.
That is both, but it's very interesting because dance very traditionally has been about the art form. Yeah.
But we're people in the 21st century, which means we want to see a bitch die.
Yeah, exactly. So, make them bleed.
Dancing is now a competition.
It is. And that's what it's turned into. And
I meant to say lose, but die just came out.
No, I agree with you. I want to see a bitch die. Yeah. Man. Nah.
Wow.
But
that says something.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, there is a lot of blurring of the lines, and I think that's very interesting. I didn't watch any. I think that there could be a very interesting comparative analysis of traditional competitive sports like baseball, basketball, golf, bowling, whatever, and the current gymnastics kind of in that way, in that you need judges, but gymnastics, dancing. I'm sure there's painting competitions.
Yeah,
I mean, there's singing competitions everywhere.
Yeah,
there's too many singing competitions.
Every other show on TV is about singing.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean that's quite interesting.
Great.
So, yeah.
I think that's a good and pretty philosophical way to end off our sport episode.
Okay. All right.
So here's the thing, Michael. You already know this, but they don't know this.
Okay. Tell us what you're thinking.
Each week we end our challenge on a Saturday and we begin on a Sunday.
Right. But life has gotten in the way.
Yeah. We always record on Saturday, but because of my preoccupations and then your preoccupations right after that. Yes, that's what I meant to say. We were unable to record yesterday, but we still wanted to start the challenge today. So we pre-pulled from the pick and bucket, but we'll do it again as like a pretend. But we already know what we're doing this week. That's not it.
You didn't clear out the other suggestions.
I got home like 30 seconds before you got here. Here it is.
Okay, all right.
It's the this week. It is we have to watch one movie each day from our least favorite genres. Michael, what is your least favorite genre?
I am not a fan of romance movies.
Hell yeah.
At all.
I love romance. I love romance movies.
Fucking pansy.
They make you feel so good.
Pansy.
They're so cute.
Pansy. I mean, so, all right. I'm not a fan of romance movies. I think I think that they're a little too simplistic. Maybe watching these movies will change.
I'm
my
gonna
mind.
give you some suggestions.
Please do.
And I think you're gonna come out of this at least more understanding.
Okay. All right.
Excuse me.
Ew.
Well, you coughed all episode. I'm allowed that one.
That's very valid. But you leaned into that cough. You got
Yeah.
gross. Okay, continue.
Though that was it. That's all I had to say.
That's the suggestion.
Oh, you want me to suggest now?
There's a romance movie called Cough. The musical.
Okay. The one I want you to watch tonight is the 40-year-old version with Steve Carell.
Is that on? Do you know if
that's on Netflix?
Okay, great. Mm-hmm.
It's the first big thing he ever really did. It's the first thing he really got big for, and it's more
so pre-Office.
Yeah, it's came out like the same year as The Office started.
Oh wow! Okay, great.
And I think it's really like also like a comedy.
Okay.
So like it's something that can kind of get you into it.
Well, there is a lot of overlap between romance and comedy, rom-coms.
It's genuinely very funny. I love it. And another one I want you to watch. These are all on Netflix.
Okay.
Set It Up.
Set It Up?
Yes.
Instead of the volleyball movie?
No.
Okay.
That's a good question. That would be a good volleyball name.
Yeah.
No, Set It Up's about two assistants to big CEO people who try to get their bosses to start a relationship so they can get more free time because they're overworked.
Oh, that's awesome.
It is pretty cool.
That sounds hysterical, actually.
Yes, that's another good one. And then the last one I want to recommend to you is he coughed.
Sorry.
That's not the name of the movie.
It's not?
It is When We First Met.
He coughed. When We First Met?
When We First Met. Or it's The Day We First Met or something.
The Day We First
I will
Met.
send you the exact thing.
Okay.
It's with that guy who played the bad guy on Pitch Perfect.
I actually didn't see Pitch Perfect.
Really?
I didn't see Pitch Perfect.
Oh, dang it. I don't know him from anywhere else, but anyone who's seen Pitch Perfect knows exactly who I'm talking about. Hang on. I'm going to look it up real quick because we have all the time in the world.
We do.
Hang
I
on.
guess so.
Pitch Perfect
I think
cast.
the ones that I do want to
Hang on.
Okay, go ahead.
There he is. Adam Devine.
Adam Devine? Oh, I love Adam Devine.
Yes.
He's on Workaholics, and he had a run on Modern Family for a while there.
Yeah, he did, actually. Yeah. Yes. Cough.
I coughed.
So this movie is about... It's like kind of like a Groundhog's Day thing, where...
repeat the same day over and over and over?
This guy's trying to get the girl he loves to fall in love with him instead of, who she ends up with.
Right.
And it has probably one of the greatest, like, beginning twists to a movie I've ever seen, where it's like literally 3 minutes in, you think it's going so well, and then there's just like a twist, and you're like, oh shit.
Okay.
So I loved that.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to suggest to you, and then after that, I think you're on your own.
All right. Well, I know that the Notebook is the classic Nicholas Sparks movie with starring Ryan Gosling, and if nothing else, Ryan Gosling will just be there, and I'll enjoy it
You'll enjoy his face
for the aesthetic purposes. Exactly. So I think that'll be one that I want to watch too, but we'll see if I don't know if that's on Netflix or any other free
You'll be
streaming
able to
services.
find it.
All right. Well, okay. So Alex, what is your hated movie genre of choice?
I'm gonna get up real up in the mic's face for this one. Not your face, the microphone's face.
Thank God, because I have personal space issues.
It is horror. It's not that I hate horror. I genuinely love horror movies. I just can't watch them because I get too jumpy.
Too scared.
Yes.
Well,
I love learning about movies. I love the lore of horror. I do love it, but I love hearing other people talk about it.
Well, I will say that it's very interesting because I'm a huge fan of horror movies.
I don't think this could have worked out any better.
Yeah, I do. Well,
next
week's
going to be a good episode.
I think so too. So they're lucky for you. There have been a lot of really, really high quality horror movies that have come out recently. It is one that you have to watch.
Of course.
Get Out is one of the more...
I've seen Get Out.
You've seen Get Out.
Yes.
Okay, so never mind. That's one of the... But that, again, my point, that is one of the most important movies that has come out in recent times.
It is very
horror or otherwise.
Yeah. I'd call that more psychological thriller.
It's still in the horror genre.
Yeah, it's like sub horror. I'd say.
Yeah, it's not as intense as some of the other movies.
I was able to watch it and not like jump as much.
Right. And there were less jump scares. I'm not a fan of jump scares.
Neither am
I. But anyway, so
that's why I hate horror movies.
That's exactly. They're so cheap with that. So there's so Get Out. There's A Quiet Place is incredible. And
John Krasinski,
yes. So I would recommend definitely it and A Quiet Place. And I'm gonna recommend actually a foreign film called Train to Busan.
Train to Busan.
Have you ever heard of it?
No, you're gonna have to give me the information for that one.
Okay, yes, that's on Netflix. It's a Korean film, and it's one of my favorite films that I've ever seen, horror or otherwise. Which is it's a zombie movie. It's about this a guy trying to get from on a train trying to get from, I forget what his hometown's name is. I'm sorry. From his hometown to Busan, which is a city in South Korea, and it's awesome because you get to see like each city fall to the zombie plague, and it's very well done. Put it on subtitles. I don't think there's a dub for it anyway. But,
all right.
Yeah. So those are the three that I'm going to recommend to you.
And then I'm also gonna definitely watch one of the quintessential horror movies that I've never seen, The Shining.
The Shining.
I've always wanted to. Don't know anything about it. Well, I know very little about it, but
I'm a huge fan of Stephen King's books. And I know that he personally is not a fan of the movie version of The Shining, but
I'm still watching it.
Stanley Kubrick has done a great job with that.
Great. All right, we gotta go. It's 41 minutes in.
Yes, we do. We do need to get going. So thank you guys so much for joining us. As always, you were gonna say it. Yes. As always, if you have suggestions for weekly undertakings that we can do, please email them to us at itstheoxymorons@gmail.com.
We swear we're getting our social media up. I'm just lazy.
Yes, we need to get that. We'll get that up ASAP, and we'll give that to you, that information to you as soon as we have it. So, until next week, don't forget to challenge yourself.
And try something new.
Thank you.
I forgot about it. That was cute. That's the kind of shit they do in romance movies, Michael.
Oh, God. Do we have to kiss now?
Well, I mean, no one would know.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye. Smooch. We didn't actually kiss. As far as you know.
They don't need to know that.